Louder.
Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Hopefully you're all having a great day. In this video I will do a review on that trampoline, the Acon Air 16 Sport HD. I actually did a review on a trampoline last autumn, but that video sucked.
Flashback.
Yo, what's up guys? Today I will do a review on the
End of flashback.
and it got a lot of views, so I decided to do it again, now that I know a little bit more about the trampoline. Let's get right into it. When you see this trampoline for the first time, you probably notice how huge it is. It's really high. I will stand right next to the trampoline so you can see how big it is. And that will probably make the trampoline look even bigger. Okay, that was actually a little bit cringy. But another thing you see when you look at the trampoline is that these bars are really thick. I mean it. I can't even get I can barely get my hand around it. The mat of the trampoline has this blue thing surrounding it, and that looks really cool. And the entrance is also blue. I think that fits really well with the black color of the trampoline. And then it has the HD logo in random places around the mats. Yo. You also get the ladder when you buy the trampoline. That's very interesting to know. That's basically what you see when you first look at the trampoline. But now I will start reviewing it a little bit more up close. All the way from the bottom of the frame to the top of the net. Yo. So the frame is really thick, as you already heard, and it's also really steady. So that's good when you jump. There's a lot of force on the trampoline, and it can take that force compared to the older version of this trampoline. As you can see, the frame actually goes under the trampoline. That's not a problem for me, because the trampoline hasn't started to bottom out yet. But that hurts a little bit. You can't just put some planks under this to make it higher. So that sucks a little bit about the trampoline. As you can see here, I have dug a little bit on the corners. And that's because the trampoline used to be uneven. It's still a little bit uneven, but it's better now. This corner is still a little bit higher. And the frame is also a little bit thicker on the newer version. So that's good. When you're building the trampoline, the hardest part is probably to get the parts of the frame together. That took us a little bit of time and some raging too. Let's talk about the frame pads. One really cool thing about this is that they are completely water resistant. So they can't get wet. The water is only on them. That's really cool. And the mat is also water resistant, and these covers for the pole. But these pads, they're also really thick. They are really long, so they cover the springs. That's what they should do. But they also make the trampoline a little bit less bouncy. So that's why you can put up the spring pads, like this. Look at this. Now the trampoline is really bouncy. Going into the trampoline is a little bit confusing at first, but you'll get used to it. And one more thing about the frame pads. Here are the rules. You have to be over 6 years old. You can only be one person, so you can't double bounce, and you can't do any flips. Those are the rules you have to follow, okay? And now, let's talk a little bit about the mat. Now it has this big fat Acon logo in the middle, and that looks really cool. And then there's also this blue thing, I can't talk. There's this blue thing surrounding it too. The mat is a little bit tighter compared to the older version of this trampoline. And that's good because people had some problems with the older version of this trampoline bottoming out. And that's not so cool. And everything about this trampoline feels like it's really good quality. The net and mat and the frame pads especially. Oh, now there's water. As you can see, here you can see a live action and the water resistiveness of the trampoline. Look at that. When you're walking here, it basically tries to make your socks wet, so that sucks. This trampoline, it should be 2.8 meters wide and 5 meters long. So it just perfectly fits in between our house and then this part for our yard. So that's really cool, that we can have a rectangle trampoline here on the backside of the house. This water is really irritating. It's making my socks wet. And this trampoline is actually in the shadow, usually on the days, because the sun is over there somewhere. Now it's evening, so you can't see it. But that means that if it's raining and then stops, it takes a while for the trampoline to dry. And so that's not that good. On the plus side, it doesn't bleach the trampoline that much. It's still really dark. And then you also get this warning sign with the mat. And this is covered with pollen. It basically tells you that you can die if you jump on this trampoline. So that's really motivating when you're doing flips. Now for the springs. They are 25 centimeters long and they are silver colored. They are a little bit cone shaped. So in the edges they are thinner, but then in the middle they are a little bit fatter. They also stretch really far. So that's cool when you're doing flips. That means that the trampoline is really bouncy. There are actually 2 or more springs on this version of the trampoline compared to the older. So it's a little bit longer. And then the springs are, as you can see here, they are a little bit weirdly shaped in the edges. And that actually makes the trampoline a little bit bouncier. This version of the trampoline is a little bit harder to bottom out. And that's good. Especially if you are a little bit heavier. Because the springs stretch really far on this trampoline. It makes the trampoline really loose. And that some people like it and others don't. I personally like it. And that's why the trampoline is really high, to not make you bottom out, hopefully. If you're planning on crossing the springs on your new trampoline, don't do it. That will make the springs and the mat a lot looser. And then if you decide to uncross them, you basically bottom out every time. So that's not so good. If you decide to cross the springs on this trampoline, keep them crossed, okay? I would say this trampoline is really bouncy. In my opinion, the bounce is a 4 out of 5. The highest I can jump on this trampoline is a little bit over the net. And that's pretty high. Maybe 3 meters. Now I will show you a clip of the highest I have probably jumped on this trampoline. And the best trick I've done on this trampoline is 1, 2, 3 and backflips. Barely made it over. Here's the clip. As you can see right now when I'm filming through the net, it doesn't block the view that much. So you can actually film fairly well when you have the net on this trampoline. Some trampoline nets are bad for filming through, but this one is pretty good. And these poles are really good quality. The metal is the same as in the frame. And then it's really tight put in place. So that means that you can fly into the net without it breaking. Trust me, it has happened to me once. As I have said, the poles are really high. As you can see here, I can barely touch the top of this trampoline. So that I am basically the height that if I will be 1 centimeter shorter, then I couldn't put up the net on this trampoline. This trampoline has one main competitor, and that's the new North trampoline. You have probably seen it. It's a couple of €100. I think it's maybe 200 or 300 euros more expensive than this one. And it's maybe a little bit better, I don't know. It's up to you which one you prefer. If you live in America and have a lot of money, then you can choose to buy the Alley Power Bounce instead. That's better, and then the Tramp Master is better. But the safety on this trampoline is extremely good. These frame pads are thick and durable, and so is the net, so you can jump safely on it. But in my opinion, this is the best trampoline you can get for the price. The best tricks to do on this trampoline are tricks on your feet, NDB and NTB. It's also fairly good at kabooms and codes, but other trampolines are better than this one at them. If you live in Finland like I do, then the price might fluctuate from 1,500 to 1,700 euros. Yo, the price changes all the time on this trampoline. I don't know why. You're drunk, Acon. I guess this is the end of this video. I don't have any script to read from, so I don't know what more to say. Yo, that's all for this video. Don't forget to smash the sub button and hit that bell icon if you haven't already. That's all. Peace! Oh, okay, that was maybe a little bit too aggressive. Peace!